in today's video, I just wanted to go over real quick over what I think good magic is. And in essence, I wanted to try to just give a really good example of good quality magic. It's like a wild roller coaster ride. And it's a whole entertainment experience. It's more than the Instagram or YouTube videos or the shorts showing a quick vanish of a coin. It jumps, it reappears. I try to get the whole experience because I'd like to actually see the performer and the engagement and using every bit of area to its fullest to be able to create a special place, a special performance to be able to entertain others. It's also the energy, the excitement, the ploys, everything about it that ultimately we want to, well, when I was at Magic Castle as a junior, they always described it as an escalating performance from peak to end. So you got a great beginning and then just scales from there to the end, which is a big closer routine. And I'm just thinking that it, or at least from the Spanish theories and different things I've seen, you want it to go up and down, and add that tension within the performances, and ultimately that helps scale, kind of like the stock market almost. No real references there, but it just goes up and down, and goes even higher, and goes even higher. And so this could be tension. This can be from, so the different areas it could be from tension, it could be from being wrong, that lowers the level of the performance. They're like, wow. And then it turns out that card has color change. It goes to a new high. There could be a low when I'm just a little bit off in the mind reading, or the humor, like just the humor we add to our routines that just make it really funny and adds that moment, and then that goes into a different area, raises it even higher. We want all these different levels. We want to feel, I guess what I'm really trying to say is, we want to feel a bunch of different emotions during a performance, and if it moves us in some way, if it excites us, and this goes more than the magic routines, but the performer themselves, how they orchestrate all the routines, and how they envelop their personality into it, how they incorporate their humor, how they incorporate themselves into it. And it doesn't even have to be all jokes. It can just be a calmness and then a serious nature in one sense, and then a little bit of a playful nature. And it's just, we want it to not just be straightforward performance from beginning to end, but we want to add this naturalness to it. And I want people to think of, or the audience who's ever watching, to think of one of your favorite performers or performances, whichever that is, and think of how they moved you in some way. One of the performances I remember, whatever you think of David Copperfield, I get it. One of David Copperfield's performances was his grandfather's Aces, and it was a very special performance, very wonderful, and it just really moved me because of the depth. He, remembered the childhood memories. You're involved in this. You know what this means to the performer, in this case, David Copperfield, and the depth. There's the depth. There's the character. There's the ode of dedicating this routine to his grandfather. It just was a beautiful routine, and it made you feel something. And then the routine itself, great. And the routine is great regardless. But by adding these outside moments, or within the performance, I'm dedicating it, or we know what the performance is an ode to, a dedication, it adds a level of depth. So the idea is, how can we add more depth to our routines? That's one respect. That's another respect. Depth to your routines to make it more personable and adds, that emotional feel on top of just regular performance. We want to make the audience feel something. We want to move them. I think that's a layer beyond, and this is another layer deeper to the performance. This is beyond just entertaining audience and giving them a good show. Yeah, you can give them a good show regardless with just that, but this is how you make life-changing performances. How do you make it personable to you and get the audience to relate to that? And just makes it a little bit more different than all the other performers. Because the other performers can do all the basic stuff, sure, but how do you make yourself unique? You make yourself unique. So these are just little different tidbits. I went on different little tangents, sure. But ultimately, I want to give different ideas and examples so you can form your own opinion and everything. I mean, this is a jam session, technically. To be able to develop yourself as a performer, make your performances more unique, make them like a roller coaster. That's ultimately what it is. It's like a roller coaster. And get your audiences excited or more attached to your performance. Because it's one thing to do like an emotional performance in front of you, in live audience venue, not just on for the people of YouTube. Hold on one second. But it's another, but I believe it's totally another, like from that level of depth, which you can see, it's just so fascinating to see a live close-up show. It's so exciting. To the contrast of seeing some slight or seeing some quick performance with only the hands on YouTube, not even the performer's face, or how you engage them, or makes it feel real in any way. I just feel like there's a real separation between the two, and just a live performance is just so amazing for that respect. And hopefully the performer adds that level of depth to it to really make it feel like a complete roller coaster ride, which is ultimately what I think is a great magic performance. And it goes off to the big peak with the closer of the routine, as performances should do. Yes, I agree with Magic Castle that it scales to the end. You have a strong opener, it scales great to the end, but there's a lot of fun that can be had in between by incorporating yourself into the magic. That said, I'm Dan. If you haven't checked out either video yet, definitely check them out, and I'll see you next video. Bye now.